Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all of the books you should be keeping an eye out for when you go to your shop this Wednesday, March 26th, 2025. I'm going to give you a rundown of all the things on my pull list, books you should be keeping an eye out for as far as some variants go, some incentives, theme variants, things that you should be reading, some of the event books, that have new installments coming out this week. Just kind of a quick rundown of all the things you should be aware of before you go to the shop to pick up your books this week. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's selection and rundown of books, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro and I will be right back. All right, we're going to start off this week as we do every week with my personal pull list. These are the books I can't wait to get a hold of when I get my books this week. Some top of the pile type things, some things I just can't wait to read and just take a look at for the week. Now, we're going to start off over on DC with the Absolute Universe, which is ever growing now, apparently. Now, I've said it before, I'm not loving every title in this run, but I am quite enjoying Absolute Wonder Woman. It is my favorite, maybe now being challenged by The Flash last week. But we're not going to get to The Flash. We're going to talk about Wonder Woman here, as again, I'm enjoying this take on Diana. I've never been a really big Wonder Woman fan. Like, I've collected books and collected for covers, etc. But reading the stories, they just never really connected with me. But for some reason, I like this angle with her being sort of raised by Cersei and having a darker edge to her. I kind of like it, and with the more magical aspects. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in this. So we have a cover A here, as well as a handful of other books, including a Josh Sway. The Swaby cover is probably my favorite of this bunch. Just something haunting about her eyes in that image that I really like. And then we do have some incentives here. We'll take that center book and we're going to make that our 1 in 50 by making it a virgin version. And then I do like the Dustin Nguyen 1 in 25 a lot too. There's just something sort of whimsical about it, fantastical, if you will, with these creatures. And I don't know, I just kind of dig it. So I do like that 1 in 25 here as well. I'm probably not going to pick it up because I don't like buying a lot of incentives at a premium, but you can usually find these books for ratio and less, a lot of times even half ratio. So if you do like picking up some of these incentives, books these days out of DC for the most part, you can get most of them at that discount kind of price. With that said, we're also going to look at the other big book of the week, and that is going to be Batman. Hush 2 starts this week officially. Now, I did like the first Hush run. I am a huge Jim Lee fan, and I am, interested in seeing a Jeff Loeb Jim Lee reunion. But for some reason, I'm just personally really not that excited for this sequel. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, maybe I just got to get into reading it, and then maybe it'll catch me back. But for whatever reason, I'm just not hyped about this. I don't know if it's just because I feel like they're over pushing it. But that said, we are getting it this week. And again, as a big Jim Lee fan, I will also admit this cover is okay, but it's not my favorite of the bunch. But we'll move on. This is the cover A. He also is giving us a connecting cover set where we're getting, boom, boom. I'm not a big fan of when they do connecting cover sets for the same book, meaning I have to buy this book twice to get both covers to complete the set. That to me just seems like, they're really trying to stick it to me because they're making me buy the same book. If this were a connecting cover set with issues 1 and 2 or whatever parts 1 and 2, that's one thing. Then you're building on a set. You're making me dupe buy. I don't like that. Again, personal preference. But we have other books here as well because, again, there's a lot of covers on this. This is getting a heavy push by DC, and I think they're banking on this being a hit, which I hope it is. I really do. Because, like I said, I am a fan of the creators, and I do like Batman. So don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. It's just, I just wasn't really asking for this is all. That said, we're going to move on. We do have a sketch version. There's a foil edition of that cover A as well. And then you got a J. Scott Campbell, which looks a lot like the connecting cover set that Jim Lee is giving us, but it's done in one. So on the one hand, I'm glad that we get a similar kind of vibe with they got the big villains in the background at Batman and other characters scattered about. That's kind of what the connecting cover set looked like. It's kind of the same layout, but now it's done in one. But at the same time, now you're giving me almost like 3 books that I got to buy. Like, I don't know. It's just asking for too many bites at this apple. Because we got even more. Let's not forget that foil edition also has a different blue version that I think is a gatefold cover for whatever reason. So I guess we're going to get more cape out of it. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what's in it. I just saw that the one in the middle is a gatefold. And then we do have a Delato, which is all right. And then we got a Dan Mora, not bad. And then we got a few others when we get to the incentives here, because we do have a Lee Bermejo 1 in 25. We have a virgin version of that Jim Lee in the middle for the 1 in 100. And we have a 1 in 50 by Simone DeMeo, I think. Again, a lot of options because we've got more. We also have a 1 in 250 sketch version of that Jim Lee cover, which, again, not many artists, in my opinion, can pull off a sketch cover, but a Jim Lee sketch cover is still great to me. Like, usually I'm like, oh, lame. The black and white, it's lame. But a sketch cover by Jim Lee and then a black and white by Jim Lee and Scott Williams inks with his inks, I'm usually a fan of those. But I'm not a fan of them being 1 in 250 and then 1 in 608. Huh? You get it? 608. That was the start of the first Hush series. Just in case you guys didn't know, Batman 608 started the first Hush run. Anyway, so they're using that as a kickoff point for this incentive, this super high ratio incentive of 1 in 608. But that's not all. They want you to buy 2 of them because they've got 2 of them to go with that connecting cover set. Because yes, this is the connecting cover set from before. So there's 2 1 in 608s. Do we need that? Probably not. Nor do we probably need a wraparound 1 in 1,000, because you know what? This probably just should have been a wraparound cover from the start. There was no need to break it up into 2. There was no need to make 2 high ratio 1 in 608 incentive variants out of it, just so they can give us a 1 in 1,000 wraparound, which is what this thing should have been from the start. Just should have been an option for a wraparound cover done by Jim Lee. To me, that would have made more sense. But we're not done. Yes, that's a 1 in 1,000. No, we're not going higher with the ratios, but I do want to point out that we did skip over the foil editions because they decided to be different with these. For one, we have a foil edition that with the logo that is also a glow-in-the-dark cover. And then we also have a foil edition wraparound that they are limiting to 2,500 copies. So much like those Diamond PX, that Red Hulk exclusive that got hot a while back, they are limiting this cover to 2,500. I think it's got a buy-in price of about $20, and it does, it is a wraparound, so it does go have a fuller image. I'll give you that here, as well as what the glow-in-the-dark looks like when it's glowing. But there you go. So there is, the wraparound cover done by Batman White Knight. I'm drawing a blank on White Knight's artist. Anyway, interesting idea. Don't know what that's going to mean for the aftermarket. Are people going to chase this one because they feel like it's limited to 2,500? But yet there are those super high ratios, so who knows where those are going to go? And then we've got this interesting glow in the dark. Hey, if a glow in the dark, is pulled off well, I am a fan. Like that Ghost Rider book from way back in the 90s is awesome when you can see it glowing in the dark. I mean, some gimmicks are just gimmicks for gimmick's sake, but some, when done correctly, look pretty good. And from what I can tell, this one looks pretty good. Not just from this image, but a friend of ours, friend of the channel, had posted on IG what the cover looks like, and it holds pretty well. That's James Kreider shared on his IG this glow-in-the-dark cover. And since I saw his post, I was like, you know what? I might actually have to get the glow-in-the-dark cover this time out because this seems like it works. So, I don't know. Looks pretty good to me. All right. That was a lot. That was a lot for Batman. But we're not done with Batman because for whatever reason, they are also giving us an Ashcan exclusive of the next issue. 12-page sneak peek of the next issue. Why? Why do we need this? Why are we sneak peeking the next installment? If your job was done well, we will buy the next part. I don't get this. This just seems like a waste of paper. But there it is. We'll see if people start chasing this too, because I don't know if it's supposed to be given away for free. I saw Midtown's charging $4 for it. So I don't know what the stakes are on this thing or what the expectations are on it. But there's a launch party Ashcan where they're going to preview the next issue. I mean, 12 pages is also a lot. That's basically half the issue they're going to give us early. Well, just give it to us then. Like, I don't know. Like I said, something's just not sitting right with me about how they're releasing this storyline. And I think that's where my reservations are coming from. But I can't wait to still read it. And hopefully it's a good read and I can get fully on board. But again, for whatever reason, all this preview stuff and how they're rolling this thing out, I'm just not liking it. Just a lot of choices I would have done differently. But I'm not a publisher. I'm just a reader. So what do I know? All right. That all said, you'll see that I'm starting off DC heavy right now because, in all honesty, DC has been kicking Marvel's ass as far as reads go. As far as the writing has been going in their books, by far and away, DC has been giving us all the best reads of late. And that continues in another book here that's on my pull list. This is Black Canary Best of the Best. This is the penultimate issue. I believe the one right before the last, issue 6. We'll wrap up this storyline. I've been enjoying how they've been doing this sort of during the fight flashback storytelling. It's kind of a neat little trick that they were doing. I mean, we've seen it in that the Perfect Game movie, and here along the way, we've seen it done a few times. But I'm liking it as a story device to tell this story. During a fight with Lady Shiva, we're getting flashback storylines as well. Good read. I'm enjoying this. Issue 5 is coming out. This is the cover A. There is a cover B option here as well, and there is also a 1 in 25, which looks really familiar, but it is new. But something about that pose, it looks familiar. I feel like I've seen an art germ. This is not art germ. I forget who did this one, but it's not art germ, but it looks familiar. It looks like an art germ that we've seen before, at least to me. This looks familiar. That said, killing it, DC, because here's another book that I have recently added to my pull list, thanks to Barlord pointing it out, tried it out, and I've just been interested. It's just been well done, well written, and well drawn. And I'm going to explain that in a second. And that is Green Arrow. So, Green Arrow issue 22 is coming out this week. Legacy 355, continuing the storyline here. Like I said, I've never been a huge Green Arrow guy, but I've been enjoying this read, enjoying this run. So, for now, I'm on board. Cover A. We've got a cover B option here as well. But I haven't gotten this issue yet, so I can't tell you what's in it. I'm just telling you it's on my pull list. I'm looking forward to it. But what I'm going to try to do here is sell you on this idea of checking this out too. Again, we've already done this as a viewer recommendation. I already gave my thumbs up, but I felt the need to do a little bit extra here. So let's look at last issue really quickly and what I was trying to get at with the art. So apart from the writing, the interior art is very well done in the fact that it tells a story. And that's what interior art needs to be. Not just splash pages and pretty pictures and pinups. It needs to be good sequential art that you can read and follow along the story, even if there are no words. That's good storytelling. That's what a good interior artist can do. Not all interior artists can do this job well. But here, the artist, I believe is named Montos, does a job here, because again, if you can't even read the word bubbles, you can see the steps and follow along this fight pattern. It's about to swing. He takes his swing, and then he steps, trips, falls, boom, they're moving. Like, you could follow along with the action. It's not just, how do we get from this punch to this kick? It's just random scenes of violence. This is a progression. It's telling you a story. You could follow along, again, with no word bubbles at all. You could follow along how this fight is playing out and be in it and be invested in the story. One more page. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time. I just kind of wanted to show you what I mean when I say good interior storytelling, because I think this is good interior storytelling. How we can go at the top of this panel where you see him winding up the punch, but yet you keep it together and almost joining the two panels together to show the results of the punch at the same time. I think it's good. I think it's an inventive way to tell the story. Boom. See them fighting. Point being, well done. I recommend this. It's on my pull list for now, and I'm reading along. Now, DC, as I said, kudos to them for doing a great job with their writing. But they're not the only ones with good stories, because I'm still really enjoying Feral. So, I've talked about this title before. It's still a good read. It's still on my pull list. Issue 11 coming out. It's a new jumping on point for new readers. We're going to move on to another story arc. So, hey, if you haven't checked it out yet, now might be the time for you. I'm liking this. Cover A. I usually pick up the movie poster Bs. Like, that's usually what I get as my pull. I get the B covers all the time on this because they're usually movie poster throwbacks. And we got the, what is that? I think a Chucky one, Bride of Chucky maybe. Pretty fun. And then there is also a 1 in 10 incentive here as well. I think there might even be another incentive variant, but I couldn't find a picture or a confirmation on it. So not sure if there's anything higher than the 1 in 10, but there is a 1 in 10 version of this. So moving on. G.I. Joe. Kind of dig this cover. I don't know. I just kind of like it. Maybe I should have put this in my top 5, but I kind of like this cover here. Andy Kubert, Veda Cobra Commander, the Destro thing. It's playing out. Issue 315. We got a cover A. The B cover is just a black and white version of this cover, so we'll just take that out of there. Boom. So you can pick whichever one you like. But one of my favorite covers of the week, if not my favorite, is the 1 in 10 on this book, which is a pretty sweet negative space Cobra Commander. I don't know. I like the look of the old school Cobra Commander, and I do like a good negative space cover. It's just, I don't know, just something I like to collect. I like it. I'm digging it. They've been doing these on a lot of these 1 in 10s lately on this G.I. Joe Real American Hero run. So this is just another in this ongoing 1 in 10 set of negative spaces. And I just like the Cobra Commander a lot here. So one of my favorites. Again, it's not even that expensive. I think you can find it around ratio thereabouts, maybe a couple bucks more, a couple bucks less. It's obtainable. With that said, let's now shift on over to Marvel. And I'm not trying to give Marvel crap saying everything is awful, because a lot of people do say that out there. It's like, oh, Marvel's writing is trash. Not everything's trash. They do have some fun stories going out there. It's just a lot of stuff is uneven, and some things can be dragged out, and some stuff, isn't great. But there are some good things. I actually have been enjoying the Laura Kinney Wolverine series. I just think it's been a fun read so far. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm invested enough to keep reading this one, because I've never been a huge reader of X-23 Laura Kinney, like All New Wolverine. I mean, I got the run, but it's just one of those things where you collect because you're a collector. It wasn't so much that, man, I'm just loving this. It is what it is. But I'm enjoying this read for now, so I'm going to keep it on board for a while on my pull list. This is the cover A. We've got a couple other options here. I mean, they're all pretty good, honestly. I like them all. But we will take the one in the center and make that our Virgin 1 in 100 incentive. This is one of those ones, always has the potential to break out or, get hot, if you will. But by and large, these things, there'll be like a couple sales for over ratio, and that'll kind of be it. And it'll just kind of dwindle off as far as, and everybody will forget about it and they'll move on to the next book. It's just what happens. Then again, sometimes these things pop. Point being, it is a high ratio. It is a Virgin. It is a female character. It's a nice cover. It has potential, but I still expect this to still be right around ratio. Maybe a little above, a little below. Not a lot of volume. That's my expectation, at least. But I've been wrong before. With that, also got to get Uncanny X-Men. So, I mean, we've completed the Battle of Grey Malkin. We're basically wrapping up X-Manhunt. We'll get that later. But here, Uncanny X-Men number 11, it's time to pay the VIG. We're getting a Gambit-focused story here. I'm kind of interested in this because I like Gambit. So I'm down. Cover A, a couple other options here as well. We've got the character kind of spotlight thing in the middle, and then another Gambit cover, which is probably one of my, I don't know, either Gambit cover is the one I'm going to grab because I don't really care for the spotlights all that much. And yes, the spotlight is also the 1 in 50 Virgin incentive, but I don't know. They're just kind of meh to me. I don't know. They just didn't really grab me. They almost look like a not playing card, like a trading card design. Like if it was an X-Men card set, this is like what I would see an installment for the character. It is what it is. Now, that's my personal pull list for the week. But before we move on, I want to quickly remind any of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, use my link down below. Get yourselves a free $15 to spend on your first purchase on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You give the app a try. You get $15 on your first purchase. Use the link. You help out the channel. You also get yourself something nice, so you really got nothing to lose. And I know I keep saying I'm going to go back and I'm going to have a sale soon, which I will. It's just, again, organizing, it takes time, and I haven't had a lot of free time lately. And to be honest, I probably won't. In the upcoming weeks ahead, I got a lot of family things to take care of. I got wife's birthdays. I got anniversaries. My entire family's birthdays coming up. It's going to be a busy month for me. And we got WrestleMania and Easter. So who knows when I'm going to have time for that extra stuff. But that doesn't matter. Don't worry about me. Get yourselves $15 by signing up and using my link down below. Now, moving on. Viewer recommendations. So I like to solicit recommendations from you viewers on stuff that you think that I should or we all should be reading. Because, hey, this is a community after all. It's a give and take. Everything that I like, you might not like. Everything you like, I might not like. But it doesn't mean we can't give it a try and we can't make suggestions here and there. So, last week, I got a recommendation to try out When I Lay My Vengeance Upon Thee, and we're already at issue 3, and I got to say, and this was from Michael Chiarello, I got to say, I read this, and I liked it. I will admit, I do need to go back and, read the first 2 to make sure I'm completely, in lockstep with where we're supposed to be with this story, but I got the gist, and I got the vibe of what's going on here. This actually feels like it could be adapted to something that we could watch as like a series on some streaming service or on television. I don't know. I was into it. You get this whole kind of a Oh, I'm sorry. Don't read the description. That's an old one. I forgot to swap that out. But the point being, when I lay my vengeance upon thee, yeah, I like the recommendations. I'm going to see this through and also pick up the first two to make sure that I'm fully on board to see this storyline out, because I think it's only going to be like 5 or 6. I don't think it's going to go further than that, or at least the first arc will be, and then we'll take it from there. But outside of that, I'm going to go back to a past viewer recommendation, because I don't know if I ever got to a chance to address it, but somebody had suggested Seasons when we were at issue 2, but with no other new recommendations for the week from you guys, I had to go and pull from the past, and I figured, you know what? Let's take a look at Seasons issue 3, because I can't remember if I did number 2 or not. So let's take a look at number 3 since we're here. 2 covers here, cover A and cover B. I'll make sure to give this a full dive through, because I kind of already have, but we'll just take it with issue 3 and give you guys the word on this series. But with that said, those were the viewer recommendations. Again, you watching, in the comments down below, not the live stream chat or the premiere chat, but in the comments below the video after it's all done and recorded, so I can go back and pick them up. Any recommendations of books that are coming out next week or in the weeks ahead, even if it's just titles, I can keep an eye out for when new issues will hit, and then I can kind of pull from there. Whatever you want to recommend, please feel free. Now, apart from your recommendations, I also make recommendations for myself, and these are my taste test books. These could be some books that are new that I want to give a try to, or things that I'm hearing good things about that I also want to give a try, things I might have read before, maybe are thinking about going back to, just things like that. First up, example, last week I said I wanted to try out the Power Fantasy. We're at issue 7. I thought it would be a good jumping on point and check it out. And I will say this. I was intrigued, but I also feel like I need to go back and read the rest of it. Like, I wasn't lost, but I do feel I do need to go back and read the rest of it. But I was engaged enough and interested enough that I'm going to go back and read through this run. It's just I got to read through a first whole 6-issue arc to catch up. But I think I'm willing to do that because I think it was written well enough that I want to give it that shot. So that's my take on this one. Got to go back and check that thing out. Now, also, personally, I'm going to give myself another homework assignment in checking out Green Lantern issue 21. Now, I dipped in before on the Green Lantern run, maybe a half a dozen issues or so ago. I think Zermanico was the artist at the time, so I was digging the art. Here, I'm kind of going off of the goodwill that Green Lantern Corps has been giving me lately. Been enjoying that read. Let's see what Hal on his own is doing in his solo title. So that's kind of where I want to, dip my toe in and see where this title is going again. I used to be a big Green Lantern fan back in the Jeff Johns days during the whole War of the Lights and the Rings and the Sinestro Corps, all that stuff. Loved all that from back in the day. It's been a while, and it's kind of lost a little bit of its luster over the years, but let's see if we can pick and shine that up a little bit. So I'm going to give this one a try. Cover A, we've got B and a C here, as well as a 1 in 25 done by Mark Spears. All right, it's not bad. I don't know. It being a Spears cover, it always has that potential because Mark Spears collectors, apparently you guys don't mind spending on anything. Money just flowing. Me, I take a more cautious approach to things. I'll buy the things that I like. Again, I'm not doing many incentives these days anyway, so I'm not even going to really look for this one, but I would not be surprised if this thing was selling over ratio later in the week. It's just one of those things, but who knows? Who knows how it'll go? With that said, before we move on, I just want to also remind you, anybody out there shopping for supplies, if you like BCW, I use it. I get all my bags and boards, my short boxes and long boxes, I get them from there. And if you do the same, use the link and the code RENA10 and save yourself 10% your entire order. That's any bags and boards, long boxes, short boxes, CGC boxes, top loaders, card pages, whatever you need to keep your comics and collectibles safe. There's probably a product over there that you can get and save yourself some money while you do it and use that code RENA10. So with that out of the way, we can move on to books that I am on the fence about. Now, what is this segment about? These are things that have been on my pull list or have been getting that I'm kind of on the fence of whether I want to continue or not. So this book has been here for a little while now. I probably would have dropped it. This is Justice League Unlimited. It had a good start, and then I just lost interest. No fault of the writers or artists alone. I'm not saying it's a bad book in any way. It's just a personal thing. Those big team books, I lose interest very quickly. I don't know why that is, but I do. The Avengers to the Justice League, I get on board with those restarts, get all excited, see the team that they build or want to go forward with, and then I go, hey, I've seen it before, and then I just tap out. It's just one of those things. I personally do it. But I would have tapped out here, but we're getting the Legion of Doom. So that's got me interested in the nostalgic part of myself from the old Superpowers days. You'll even see in the cover I'm about to show you. This is the cover A. We've got a cover B option here by Zerdy, not bad. And then there's a Mark Spears race like homage here with Flash and Superman you can also get. But then it's this one right here with the old school Legion of Doom, headquarters in that swamp. Just gives me the feels of that old school nostalgia of the old school Legion of Doom. I know I said old school a lot there, but it's just true. It's just something that's got me interested, at least enough to get one more. So they got me at least for one more issue to see if I'm going to stay on board. And then again, you got the Mark Spears cover there too. Keep an eye on it. You never know. Incentive-wise, neither of these really impressed me too much, so I don't expect anything out of them. The 1 in 25, 1 in 50, you could find them well below ratio if you're shopping, so go for it if you want. But I'm going to move on now to another book that I'm kind of on the fence about. I'm sticking in for now, but can be dropped at any time, and that's Ultimate Wolverine. We're only at issue 3, so I'm interested enough to get at least through here. Wolverine versus Gambit and Kitty Pryde. We'll see. I thought it was interesting, him being the Winter Soldier, that take on it, etc. But I don't know how much more I got in me. Because again, I've admitted it many times. I am not a big solo Wolverine title reader. It's just, he's never been my favorite to just read on his own. I like him as part of a team. But with that said, I'm on board for now, but I'm still on the fence. Still on the fence. I have to make a call soon whether to completely put this on the pull list or I'm out. This is cover A. Couple other options here with the Colossus there, and then we've got one in the middle with Magic, and then I believe there was also an incentive on that Magic cover, but it looks like I cut it out. My mistake. But there is a version, I think it's a 1 in 50 or 1 in 24, 1 in 50, I think, of that center book there in the middle. But looks like I cut it out, and I moved on to the next book that I'm on the fence about, and this is only at issue 2. So my goodwill only goes so far with Weapon X-Men, because again, just feels kind of forced. First issue wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. We'll see. We'll see if I want to keep up with this. I actually doubt it, but right now I'm on the fence. Yeah, I get it. They try to capture him with the big names, and oh man, these guys are the tough guys of the X universe, the killers, Cable and Deadpool and Wolverine and Warpath and Chamber. Okay, but I get bored quickly. Again, personal taste. With that, this is issue 2, cover A, and there's a cover B option. So pick which one that you like, or you can get yourself the 1 in 25 if you want that one. Baron von Strucker, right there, front and center. Cool. All right, those are the things I'm on the fence about. I'm debating whether to keep up with or not. But here are some titles that I decided to call this just riding it out. These are some things that I'm just going to keep getting, or I'm going to see them through their story arc or miniseries arc end, whatever you want to call it. Point being, first example, Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. I already said it. I'm just on board. I'm just going to get all these. I'm a little behind on reading them, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to get all of them, and I'll sit down and read them when I got time. So I'm just riding this one out. Doesn't matter. They've built up enough goodwill. Jeff Loeb, I'm going to get this no matter what. So I'm getting it. Just saying. It's one of those things. Cover A, I know plenty of you out there know what I mean. Plenty of you out there that are just collectors, and it doesn't matter. You're just going to get them. Cover A, B, and a C. I really do dig that Mr. Freeze in the middle. It has like a Batman, the animated series kind of vibe to it. Very clean, very simple, but it just captures the eye and just draws me to want to open this book and read it. It does the job of what a cover should do. All right. Next book, a little behind on reading. Again, that's also kind of what the writing it out. These books have earned enough goodwill with me to want to continue to pick them up for a stretch, even if I'm behind on my reading. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, number 7 being an example. I've enjoyed this series. I think I'm a couple issues to kind of wrap up and catch up, but here we are. One cover and an incentive. So this keeps it simple. I'm just going to get the regular cover. I'm not going to chase the incentives, but there is a 1 in 15 if you want to go and find it. But I'm fine just getting the regular book and keeping it rolling. Plus, yeah, if you do a pre-order at a lot of places, you get a good discount. It's to stay on board. It's only like a little over $2. So $2, I'm in. Same with Monstrous. I am well behind on reading Monstrous, but I know I'm going to catch up eventually, and I'm not going to stop getting these. So much like in the same vein as like a Saga, Monstrous, I'm just going to keep getting it. So I know we're at issue 56 at this point. I'm going to keep getting it. And I got to catch up one of these days. One of these days I will. But there we go. That's going to keep getting added to the pile. And then one of those things that I just keep getting is Savage Dragon. I don't know. You get into a habit of things, and no matter what, you're just going to keep buying some things. So I'm still riding out the Savage Dragon run. Again, not up to date on my reading. I know where they're getting to. They're going to give all the kids a center stage issue, I believe, here for the next 4. Doesn't matter. I've been grabbing and pre-ordering for half price the 70s cover. So this is the cover A. But there is a 70s retro version, and that's usually the one I get, which is very similar, but it has that old school Marvel vibe to it. I've just been getting those for a while now, and I'm going to continue to do so because $3.99, again, it's like $2. I just keep adding it. Just keep adding it to my run. It is what it is. Now, writing it out also finds itself to a book like this, which was a viewer recommendation. This Murder Kingdom, which, like, a serial killer kind of carnival kitty story-esque kind of thing, fairy tale slasher type of story. It was a viewer recommendation, I think, with issue 3 or 4. I enjoyed it, went back, caught up. It's wrapping up, so I'm seeing this through. That's all. It's just I'm seeing the rest of this run through. I believe this is the final issue, so I'm on board for that. I'm going to wrap it up here with issue 5. Hello Darkness, anthology series. Couple issues behind on reading the anthologies, but I do like a good horror anthology story, and I'm looking forward to catching up with this. But for now, I also like the covers. I'm going to keep getting it. So I'm riding it out. I'm going to keep collecting them. We've got issue 9. This is the cover A. We've also got a Jenny Frison option here as well. Not bad. I think that's the one I asked for as far as my pull goes. And then we got a couple other options here too, which are pretty striking and not bad. And then we could take our 20th anniversary in the center, make it a virgin, and that is also our 1 in 20 incentive if you want to go and look for that. So I don't know, pretty decent cover, pretty creepy with all the eyeballs all over her, but also a pretty striking image. Another title that I've liked, I think I haven't gotten caught up on the current run, but I Heart Skull Crusher. I enjoyed the initial arc, so I've been getting these because it was just kind of a fun, silly romp. I don't know, it was just something different. So I'm getting the second wave, even though I haven't caught up on reading them yet. Issue 8's coming out. We've got 2 covers here, cover A, cover B, and then we have a 1 in 10 incentive and a 1 per store, which is the version of the cover B. One of those things, back in the day, the first part of this run, those 1 per stores, a couple of them popped. Since then, not so much. You can find them generally in the $10 to $15 kind of range in a lot of places. But if you know you're an LCS owner, maybe you get it for cover, maybe you get it for free. Who knows? I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your shop, but I've heard stories where you can get books like that for those prices. With that said, don't know if you should expect anything more out of it. It'll depend if the series gets more interest once again. But that first run, a couple of them did pop. I just don't see it in our immediate future for that happening again, so they'll probably linger in that $10 to $15 kind of range. All right. Also, riding it out, Ultimate Spider-Man. Yes, this is one of my favorite, or probably is my favorite of the Ultimate Universe current run from Marvel. But again, I keep saying it, I'm behind. You see all the books I'm talking about here. I don't know how much free time you have, but I only got so much time in a day that I can't read everything that I want to read. So certain things get kind of pushed to the back burner. This is one of them. I do like it, but I do got to catch up. I will. So that's why it's here. I'm writing it out. Issue 15, Sandman Attacks. We got a Sandman cover in here as well. That was the A. Pretty cool cover for Sandman. I kind of like that, especially with the yellow. I don't know, yellow pops. And then we got these other options here. Is that Ryan Gonzalez, I think? And then we got another option in the middle. It's kind of sideways. And then we do have a 1 in 25 if you want to go there. Moving on, Daredevil. Also love Daredevil. I collect Daredevil like I do with Amazing Spider-Man and the X-Men books. Daredevil is another title that I just get. Just going to get it. Just going to get it. So issue 19 is coming out this week. Like I said, I'm a little behind on reading my Daredevil. That's basically all the titles I'm behind on. That's what writing it out is, kind of a mixture of seeing through miniseries and things I'm behind on reading. I can admit it. Issue 19 coming out. I really do like the B cover here. This is cover A, but the B cover here by Gonzo, it's just something about that like wolf. It's like almost like a tattoo. It just has a cool look to it. I just kind of dig it. So I like that. Miniseries Ride It Out. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, issue 4 coming out. I think we still got an issue or 2 to go, but I did enjoy this cartoon, this animated series on Disney Plus more than I thought I was going to. So reading this prequel series ain't too bad. So I'm on board to see it through and just read them. So cover A, animation cover there in the middle, and another option there over on the side. Pick whichever you like. Now, those are the books, just riding them out. And I know we did the On the Fences, but here is stuff where, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore, and I'm out.
I'm out.
What?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of the contest.
What's different about this one here is usually it's titles I'm going to drop. In this case, it's a title that I'm just glad the run is over. So, Wolverine Revenge. They got me on those red bands and those EC horror homages initially, and then I just started getting them, and I'm just glad it's over. So I'm just with issue 5, I'm just glad it's over. That's why I'm out. If they were to continue it or decide to pick it up again, I would not continue it. I'm just glad it's wrapping up and we can say we're done here. Issue 5 coming out. Cover A, we got a cover B option there as well. And then we can also get you a 1 in 25 option here too. I don't know why it looks like Wolverine is playing in an outhouse, or a sewer pit or something, but that's what it kind of looks like he's playing in. Whatever. Then there is the red band version of it. I still don't know why they did 2 versions. Just do the red band and leave it at that. We don't need multiple versions of this. But here's the red band cover, basically the same, just with a little bit more blood. And then we have our variant options with a 1 in 100, which is a virgin version of that cover A. And then we do have the EC horror homage that at this point feels a little overdone. I feel like everybody and their mother is doing these homage covers across all the publishers. So they've kind of lost a little bit of that specialness, at least to me. And I also think also with the market, because we don't see these things popping like they used to. Like that first Wolverine Revenge cover, you remember, it was pricey. Anyway, that's what we got with this. Like I said, I'm just glad it's over. So I'm glad I can say that I'm out. Because, I don't know, I get it. Yeah, Wolverine Sabretooth. I'm over it. That's all. I'm just glad it's done. Also glad that this storyline is done. And that's X-Manhunt. Yeah, it's all right. Just one loving it. X-Manhunt Omega wraps it up. Maybe something shocking will happen and it'll make me re-look at the series a little differently. But for now, just kind of glad we can move on. Couple of covers here. Cover A. Then you get the Noto connecting cover, which is that lineup picture, which again, it's not connecting. It's just the theme of all those lineup covers for every part of the story. But whatever. There we go. It's over. 2 more covers here as well. Boom, boom. And we do have a 1 in 25, which I actually kind of like. I do like a good road cover. So kind of like this one. A little different with the almost like the Ben-Day dot red background. I don't know. Kind of different. I like it. I'm not going to pay up for it, though, because, ratio, thereabouts. Maybe less if you're lucky. Point being, X-Manhunt wraps up here. Now, a story that we have to follow that is far away from wrapping up anytime soon is One World Under Doom. I believe last week we just got the core issue. I think that was it. Picked it up, got me interested again in the series as a whole, but I cannot read everything because here we go. This week, they're hitting us up with half a dozen books. That's right, 6 books considered tie-ins to One World Under Doom. Starting off with Doom Academy, #1, which is one that I would normally put now in my writing it out section because I actually did like the first issue, and I think it's only going to be 3 or 4. So it's going to be a short series that ties in with this. I'm good to see that through. So I'm on board for the rest of them. I enjoyed it enough to say that. Cover A here. A couple other cover options here as well. And then we'll take our 1 in the center, make that our 1 in 50 virgin incentive if you want to go and get it. Ratio thereabouts or less if you're lucky. Moving on. Second title tying into Doom this week. Doom's Division. So basically they took Tiger Division. Now they made him Doom's Tiger Division. So we'll see how that tie-in goes. This is a new number 1, so I have no idea the actual angle or take on it. I'll probably give it a peek, see if it looks interesting. But we do have the cover A, and then we've got a few other options here. I really do like that rose beige cover there in the middle, and that's maybe why I might pick this up, just because I also like that anime vibe style color. It pops, it jumps out at you. I just like it. And yes, there is a virgin version that is a 1 in 100, but I am completely fine just getting the trade dress. You'll also notice the 1 in 50, which is a virgin version of the Peach Momoko kimono covers. They haven't done that for any of the other ones. So the fact that they're doing it here is interesting. And I'm not showing you the regular kimono cover because we're not that part of the show yet. You know, that's a whole segment later on. But I needed to show you the 1 in 50 because this is the only one that's got a 1 in 50 that does that. And then there's also a 1 in 25 mixed in the mix there too. All right, third title is a book that's on my pull list. It's normal. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get it anyway. Amazing Spider-Man. So, Juggernaut Amazing Spider-Man, 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. We're wrapping up this storyline. Yes, I admitted it was a welcome change from like the gang war type stuff, but now I got to tell you, it is feeling a little bit draggy. So, while I'm not looking forward to a brand new number 1, I am looking forward to a new storyline change. Just being honest. Issue 70. But again, we don't need a new number 1. They could just have kept the numbering going. It's just sick of new number 1s. Here we go. Cover A. Scotty Young option here. Then we got a teaser. I think a foreshadow, I think is what they called it. So I guess we're going to see Hobgoblin come back pretty soon. And they just want to tease it on this cover. I don't understand the point of doing that. Like, we'll just see it in the previews, your previews edition, or we'll just get there when we get there. You don't need to randomly throw it on a cover a couple of months ahead. It just seems dumb to me. And a waste of paper. We don't need all these options. That said, Scotty Young, it's also the 1 in 100 virgin, and there's a 1 in 25 there as well. Whatever. I'm fine with the cover A. I'm just going to stick there. Now, I was surprised, I should say. I was surprised that I actually enjoyed Red Hulk number 1 as much as I did. It wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, so I was pleasantly surprised. So normally I would be on the fence, but I'm probably going to take a look at this one here too. To see how it ties in, because it did have a good tie-in to One World Under Doom. I like the whole prison break and all that stuff. Interested to see where this goes. So issue 2 coming out this week. Cover A. There is a cover B here too with Deathlock and Red Hulk there. Not bad. And there is also, hate them, but here we go again, a connecting cover set of the same book. So they want you to buy it twice if you want to connect them. We could have had the Red Hulk on cover, on issue 1, and then Thing on issue 2. I would have been on board for that. Don't like this. Don't like this. Or you could have just made it a wraparound. Trying to make us spend $8 to get this. I don't know. 1 in 25 option here as well, if you're interested. Moving on. Thunderbolts, Doomstrike. Meh, I really wasn't into the first issue of this one, so probably not going to be grabbing this tie-in. But we are getting a second issue if you're interested, and a second cover option to go along with it. Okay, cool. And then finally, Fantastic Four number 30, another tie-in. So if you didn't know, it is a spoiler here, and they even have a spoiler cover. This is cover A, by the way, which is also kind of a spoiler in and of itself, because it does have, Ben Grimm laying there with all of the rocks. So I don't know why that is not considered a spoiler cover, but they are releasing a spoiler cover here. And I'll show you what it is. Are they saying is he going to put all the rocks back on him? Is that what's going to happen in this issue? Because otherwise, you're not spoiling the fact that you took the rocks away, because we read that in, One World Under Doom issue 2 already. And it's on the cover of cover A. So how is this a spoiler? So I don't think he's getting the rocks back, because it does say Fantastic 3, meaning I guess Ben's out for a bit, but we've seen this before. It's not a brand new storyline. But whatever. So there's your spoiler cover. And then we do have a foil edition as well as a Disney one, because I don't know who still wants these, but they still keep making them. And that is also a 1 in 100 as well, which I think is even more of a waste of paper, considering you can find these 1 in 100s on sale in places like Midtown for like $20 or under. That's a pretty cheap price for a 1 in 100. Just saying. Maybe we don't need these. Maybe stop. It's okay to stop. You don't have to just keep doing. You don't have to keep running this gag if it's not working anymore. Yeah, initially, people were interested. People were buying them right out of the gate. Now, I don't think anybody cares. So let's stop with the Disney stuff. Anyway, 1 in 25 there as well. Catch you up. Whole bunch of parts so far. There we go. There's the first 9. And then up through last week, we had up through 14. Now this week with another 6, that's getting us issues 15, 16, 17, 18, all these different parts up to 19 and 20. Currently, again, using League of Comic Geeks. It's an excellent resource if you guys like checking out comics. They're great resource. I find all these covers and all this information there. But they've got like 50 issues already as part of that tie-in. But we're only through 20 for now. So it is what it is. Now, with One World Under Doom still well on its way from being finished, let's also start another little subset series of storylines, which may or may not be connected. Let's just call these Godzilla versus Marvel, because we're going to get a number of Godzilla versus Marvel characters. Whether the storyline's connecting anyway, I do not know. But our first installment of this, yes, we had those covers from a while back, but this goes beyond cover. We're getting a story here. So Godzilla versus Fantastic Four. So, all right, FF makes sense. Cover A here. Round 1 in a series of 6 one-shot throwdowns. So there you go. It'll be 6 one-shots. Here's number 1. Pretty cool cover options here as well. We got a Lionel Francis Yu, and we got like a kaiju kind of callback there as well. Like a little throwback look on that issue. And then we can go and take a look at the one in the middle, which is actually a wraparound cover. And this is what it looks like when you see the whole thing unfolded. Wraparounds should not be ignored. Don't make me buy it twice. Just give me the whole thing on one. Also, we have a throwback homage issue there, which, oh, I'm sorry, I already had that one callback, but these are both kind of considered homage variants. I didn't look to see what that one on the left might call back to, but our one in the middle is a callback to an old school Godzilla King of the Monsters cover. That's issue 21. And I know that doesn't really look a lot like Godzilla. It looks like a big lizard, but Godzilla kind of is a big lizard. But yeah, there's our callback to Godzilla fighting Devil Dinosaur back then. But now we got him fighting the Thing because it's an FF crossover. Anyway, plenty more covers here for you. We do also have a fight poster style, which is kind of fun. We got a Scotty Young, more fun. And then we got a pretty decent Peach Momoko there in the middle. I like that image of Godzilla there done by Peach. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Godzilla in watercolor. I'm a fan. I don't need to get the 1 in 100, but there is a 1 in 100 version of it, as well as a foil and a 1 in 25 too. But I'll get that trade dress of the Peach Momoko and be happy. With that said, let's move on to new number ones. Geez, we're 48 minutes in, and there's a lot more to go. But it's the end of the month, and there's a lot of books to cover, because usually at the end of the month, we've got to squeeze everything in. Things might get delayed. It's usually a big week, that final week. Anyway, let's keep it rolling. New number ones. Absolute Martian Manhunter. I did not ask for this. I read the preview at the back of Absolute Flash number 1. I was not hooked by it, so I'm probably not getting this personally. You guys let me know if it's any good, but I'm tapping out even before this one starts. Cover A here. B's and C's. Sketches and more. Yeah, I don't need these. We got foils too, if you want foils. And we also got incentives with 25s, 1 in 50s, and 1 in 100s. I do like the Daniel Warren Johnson 1 in 50. It's just detailed, crazy, wild, psychedelic. It's cool, but I don't need to spend the money on it, nor do I really need an Absolute Martian Manhunter story. Just, I don't care. But again, let me know if my not caring is a bad thing. Let me know if this is actually a good read, because I'm not going to buy this one. At least not week 1. So hopefully, if it is good, it's not a hit, and I don't miss out. We'll see. Also, we're getting Peacemaker Presents Vigilante and Eagly, a double feature, getting us ready for the Peacemaker Season 2, which is still a couple months away. But I guess we need this now? Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't know if we really need this, but we're getting it. Black Label, issue 1 of 5, miniseries start. Here's the cover A. I do like that Dan Panosian eagle in the middle. It's just a solid eagle, but it's also Dan Panosian, so I'm a little biased. But that's a really well done eagle. And Eagly. And then we got another option over there, and we do have a 1 in 25 and a foil version of our cover A. Okay. Rolling on. Dark Horse, Our Brilliant Ruin, Horror at Crane Mansion. I don't know where Dark Horse keeps getting all these new number ones, but it seems like every week there's at least one or two Dark Horse number ones, and this is yet another example of that. It's created in association with the tabletop RPG of the same name. I've never played it, so I don't know much about it, but okay, I guess there's a market for this. We'll see. I mean, it could be an interesting read. I just don't know how far this plans to go. Just a one-shot or what? But hey, it is what it is. I'm more interested here in Bitterroot coming back. I enjoyed the first Bitterroot. So, issue 1 of 5. Next Movement. Getting a new mini started. This is also a connecting cover by Sanford Green. And we know how well I enjoyed the first run of connecting covers on both, on the other story arcs. But so I'm looking forward to this. Cover A. Then we got a B cover as well as a sketch cover. And then our B cover there in the middle actually is a wraparound. So we could take a look at that wraparound here. Oh, sorry, I sped it up, but boom, there you go. Not bad. I'm still probably getting the connecting cover set. But this is also the 1 in 25. When we take the color off of it, it becomes our 1 in 25 incentive. All right, not bad. Image is also giving us Universal Pictures The Mummy. All right, I know they've been doing all the Universal monsters. I guess we're now to the point of The Mummy. It sticks. I know as a Mummy fan. I don't know if I am, but here we go, Mummy. We got a Middleton in the middle. That's right, Middleton in the middle, because that is also one of the incentives. We got a 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 1 in 50. We've got more than that, though, because we got a 1 in 75, as well as let's make this bad boy shiny and make it our 1 in 100. Okay. It's a lot of books for the Mummy. Moving on. I'm intrigued by We're Taking Everyone Down With Us. Explosive double-sized first issue. I don't know. Some kind of after her mad scientist father is killed by the world's greatest spy, a 13-year-old Annalise is left all alone. Sort of, I don't know. You could read through the rest of the synopsis here, but I'm kind of curious. Retribution, super spies, villains, science-y type deals. Okay. Kind of on board. Give this a shot at least. Issue 1 coming out, and this is a Rook spy thriller. All right. So I guess we're getting a new subset started here. Anyway, issue 1. Couple other covers here. Tula Lotte. I really dig the one in the middle. Just something about that girl's intensity in her eyes, like through the tears. It just grabs me. I like it. I like it a lot. That'll probably be the cover I get for this book. And then there is also a Virgin over there, as well as a couple of incentives. And yes, there is a 1 in 75. That's a Virgin of that intense crying eyes, but I'm fine with the trade dress. Also a 1 in 50 option and a 1 in 25. Like I said, I'm good with that B cover or whatever you want to call it. That's probably the one I grab. Up next, we also have You'll Do Bad Things. So, it's been 10 years since the release of He Came In With a Smile, a true crime smash hit that chronicled the brutal murders committed by the nursery rhyme killer. But a decade since its release, the author, Seth Holmes, hasn't produced another title. So I guess we're getting an author and serial killers and yada yada. Seems kind of interesting. Turn the page on this Giallo-inspired thriller from Multiverse Hyphenate. I mean, there's a lot of words here. Leave it there. I'll just tell you, interesting cover A. Does kind of grab you a bit, but my favorite is the one in the middle here with the hand and the bloody knife coming out of the old school monitor. I don't know. It's just a really cool image. I like it. As well as the other one here. We got the zipper smile and the eyes reflected in the knife. Also, pretty interesting cover take. But the one in the middle, probably my favorite and the one I'm probably grabbing. And then there are also incentives here too. And I do like the Marcos Martin in the middle because it is very reminiscent of that computer screen one with a big bloody knife. And I like Marcos Martin, but I think the computer screen is probably my favorite. But there are some incentives. On the Marvel side of things, we do have some number ones here too. I guess for April Fool's Day, we're getting another Deadpool versus Wolverine slash 'em up. I guess this is going to be a sillier take on the Deadpool Wolverine team ups. All right, fine. I guess it's for somebody. I'm not spending $6 on this personally, but to each their own. Cover A, and there is a B cover option here as well. I'm fine not getting this. And then I'm fine not getting this one either. Pooluminati, I don't know, an Illuminati jokey book also with Deadpool's, also for April Fool's Day. We'll get to those April Fool's Day covers in a bit, but all right, I get it. A lot of Deadpools. I have no need for this. So I'll save this $5 as well. Couple of homages here with the Illuminati #1, and then you got X-Men. What is that, 100? So, okay. Got those going for it. But if you like a whole bunch of Deadpools, I guess this book is for you. Moving on. Got to keep it rolling because we're already an hour in. I still got a lot to do. Far down below. Summer 1983. Teen friends escape from rainy day boredom. Explaining... checking out an abandoned family home, haunted house. It's kind of got a Goonie vibe to it. So who knows? We'll see. Out of Mad Cave, issue 1, 2 covers here, A and a B. Pick which one you like if you're interested. Free for All. So another book. Patrick Horvath, who I believe did the Bear book, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Patrick Horvath is giving us 56-page self-contained one-shot that delivers a brutal new vision of capitalism by combat. $8 on this thing, but it's 56 pages, so it is an oversized book. Here's your cover A. We've got a lot of covers here. B's and C's, D's and E's, I guess. And then there is a 1 in 10 black and white version of that one there in the middle, if you're interested. Solomon Kane is back. I know for all you fans of Solomon Kane, who are now probably 105, Solomon Kane's back. But yes, we got Solomon King, the Serpent Ring. I mean, again, it's classic character, public domain, I guess, by now. So I guess that's why we're seeing more stories like this being thrown out there. But cover A, B's and C's, Mignola, not bad. Zurcher, as well. And then we got sketches and other options here. I mean, if you're interested, pick whichever one you like. There are more, but in a Dynamite kind of way. They're like version variations on these, and I just didn't feel like showing everything, so I gave you the different art. With that said, let's keep it rolling. Facsimiles. So we don't have a lot of facsimiles, but we do have this. We do have Marvel Fanfare, number 15. Oh, sad thing. I guess we need this throwback. I guess. I don't know why. There's also an April Fool's Day cover, which we'll get to later, but there's also a 1 in 25 incentive with Daredevil on it. Cool. I don't know why we need this right now, but perhaps I'm missing out, and I'm missing out some the secondary story. You'd be like, oh, you're an idiot, Pete. They're reprinting this because it ties in with Born Again or something. Maybe that's the case. I just didn't bother to look into this one because Marvel Fanfares are typically not that hard to find, and you can find most of them in dollar bins. So why we need a facsimile reprint when we can all go dig in boxes and find the originals of this same book, probably for $1 or $2. I don't need to see the need to spend $4 and $5 for a reprint of it. That's all I'm saying. Up next, later printings. And with that, Marvel is giving us a handful of second prints with incentives, like Eddie Brock Carnage #1. Yes, that is a callback to Lethal Protector's cover for cover A, but no shiny foil. Yes, this is the 1 in 25, which is a wraparound version of the cover we've already seen before. Yay! Again, some of these could hit. I don't know why, but they sometimes do. Magic is back with issue 2. Second print, Villalobos cover, which I believe is exactly like the first print Villalobos cover. And then we've got a black and white Campbell sketch for the 1 in 25. Okay. If you want it, go ahead. And we've got Doom, One World Under Doom #1, because I guess we need a second printing of this, even though I think there were a lot of these out there, a lot of covers, a lot of options. But here's our second print, as well as a 1 in 25 incentive with him sitting on his throne. And no, he is not pooping. He's doing magic. Up next, third print for Ultimate Universe #1, 1 year in. Yes, this is where we were introduced to our Ultimate Wolverine, as you can tell here, because he's on the cover. Okay, I guess we need another printing of this. I don't know. I mean, seriously, do we? We're getting it. As well as a third print. I feel like we just got a second print of this last week. Why are we getting a third print already? But the Lucky Devils, I guess that second print was issue 2. Point being, I still don't know if we really need this. It is a nice cover by Jenny Frison. Bit misleading. Like, you think of this and you're like, oh, it's cool. It's like a snake devil in here. It's like you're leaving out the little troll demon dudes that are actually sitting there on their shoulders and making it look a lot of, I don't know. This is the third print cover, and then we can make it like a black and white version for the 1 in 25. Cool. Cool. And then, yeah, if you haven't gotten it yet, Mark Spears Monsters has a fourth printing coming. Yeah, he's getting all torn up like dude at the end of Shaun of the Dead. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Mark Spears Monsters, #1, fourth printing, as well as a 1 in 20 incentive for this fourth printing, which I will admit, I do like the callback here to Friday the 13th, the video game. I like those types of callbacks. I like the distressed look of the box. Yeah, I don't know if I need a fourth print incentive book. If this were like a regular cover, then I might have bought the fourth print just for the cover alone. But I'm probably not paying up for what this is probably going to go for this week. So I'll have to leave this one out myself. You guys do what you like. I just can't. You see how many books I got to buy this week. I just can't afford it. With that said, let's get to some oversized stuff. Another reason I can't afford some books, because some of these oversized books just cost too much. But it is what it is. For whatever reason, and again, it's part of the push that it's got my problem with Hush 2. For whatever reason, they're selling us a giant size, big 11 by 17. See it in the full-size art version the week it comes out. Like, this is usually a kind of a thing you do like years later. Hey, check out an old series in a new format. Not the same day you buy the regular one. Can I say, ooh, I'm so excited that I need to get the really big version of it too for $15. I don't know. It just feels like too strong of a push. Like, is there something wrong with it? Like, it's like they're pushing meat that's near the expiration date. That's the vibe I'm getting by this heavy of a push at a DC for this book. And it's partly why I'm a little off put by it. But oversized, giant-sized book. Yes, okay. And hey, why not give you a shiny foil version of it too for $20 while we're at it? Because that's what they're doing. So yeah, I really need an 11. I don't even know how you would bag and board an 11 by 17 comic. I know the treasury size edition, those things exist, and I guess you can get those Time Life magazine bags and boards for it. But even though, how much is that going to cost to get a whole package of that? If you got to do it, make sure you use my code, that Renna10 code. At least get 10% off of those suckers, because it ain't gonna be cheap. Anyway, more big facsimiles in. We have Batman Strange Cases, limited collector's edition, issue 59. $15 for this bad boy too. And there's a sketch and a foil version. Cool. We're also getting at something at a Garth Ennis here. Kids. So I think this is just like a one-shot. About kids growing up too quickly. I don't know. But it's $8, magazine size. I just can't. Maybe it's good. Again, Garth Ennis usually doesn't let me down, but cover A and a cover B is what it is. Distillery, they've been still doing it. $9 for these books, which is why I don't end up getting them. But the new series concludes, the big burn, even though their selling point of saying, for fans of Ocean's 11, Inception, Lucifer, and Out of Sight, seems like it would be up my alley. $9, I just couldn't get on board. But if it's good, please tell me down below. Maybe I'll look for the trade. But until then, I'm probably going to have to say, we'll see. A, B's, and C's. Here's the other problem. They do too many covers here, too. Like, for these oversized magazine-style books, do we really need 3 options as well as 3 incentive options? Bit overkill. I think it's just overkill. 1 in 10s, 25, 50, whatever. Rolling on, because, again, we're already over an hour, and I'm just getting to the variants now. Courtside variant covers. We've got March Madness on, in full swing. That's why I guess DC is doing this. So we've got some DC characters playing basketball. Yep, that's Batman about to dunk on Bane and Joker and his Rogues Gallery. Cool. One of the many covers I didn't show, and one of the many covers I did already show you, yet another option, the Batman 158, dunking Batman. And he's got 27 on his chest, call back to Tech 27. You like that? Anyway, that's Bats. I kind of like the Harley. I like the fact that she's in color, and then we get the black and white background. That's kind of fun. Harley Quinn, courtside variant. Not bad. Then we got Superman just flying with a basketball. It seems like such a way. This could have been any other cover image. I don't see how this is selling me on. It's a basketball cover. Just because you put a basketball, it could have been drawn over another piece of art. Like, this to me doesn't work. It's just Superman flying with a basketball. Granted, this is Wonder Woman posing with a basketball, but she's in the gear. She's, she looks like she's ready to ball. Like, she's ready to roll. That's different. Superman just holding the basketball. He's flying. Whatever. That's it, though. We're wrapped up. We're done. Courtside variants, all done. International Women's Day, also wrapping those up. We've got 2 more. Both Jenny Frison, both Wonder Woman covers. Why do we need 2 Wonder Woman covers this week? I don't know, but that's how DC decided to release Wonder Woman, Absolute and regular. Here's Absolute. Here's regular edition. Do you see the difference? Absolute, red rope, gold rope, red eyes, big sword, blue eyes, and a cape. You could have spread these out, guys. Just saying. That's all. Could have spread them out so we didn't get both up in the same week. But yeah, 2 Jenny Frison Wonder Woman variants on 2 Wonder Woman books this week. Also, Star Wars Women's History Month wraps up with their final 2 of 4. Only 4. Why bother? It seems like a weird thing to do. Why make a whole subset of variants if you only got 4? Like, I don't know. But Leia, cool, on Rise of Skywalker, and then Chancellor Lena So. All right. We're done. Boom. All 4 of them out in March. April Fool's Day is continuing. Yeah, that's right. These variants that, because I don't know why we need them, but why not? Cool. I mean, I guess they're kind of fun. You just put Deadpool in classic covers like this. Hey, it's AF-15 again with Deadpool holding Spidey this time. I thought we've seen this, but here it is again. Issue 70 of ASM. Yep, it's a variant. X-Men 1 homage, but it's Deadpool's. This is on this week's Uncanny. Cool. And then, like I said, for whatever reason, I don't know why, that Marvel Fanfare also has a Deadpool cover. It doesn't have the official logo stamp on it, but it is Deadpool doing a nanny boo boo to the Thing for some reason. Looks like you got pancakes thrown at him. I don't know what's going on here. Whatever. Point being, there's 2 more. We've got 3 left coming out just before. Well, actually, they're coming out right after April Fool's. So April Fool's Day will run a day extra. Thankfully, we're wrapping up the Invisible Woman variants because, man, these things were really lackluster. I can't even think of one that I really liked. But here's our last one, which, again, is just a big pile of meh. Red Hulk fighting an Invisible Woman, I guess. Or she's dancing and he's trying to shoulder tackle her. I don't know what's going on here, but it's done. Thankfully, it's done. We'll see what we got for you next month out of Marvel. But we're not done yet because we still got Marvel Rivals to finish up for this month. Yes, we got a handful of other Marvel Rivals covers, including this wraparound bad boy on ASM. Yes, another Amazing Spider-Man 70 cover that we haven't talked about. Yeah, bunch of spider characters. Cool. We've also got this on Doom's Division. And then our issue of Hulk this week has this. It's actually kind of fun. I kind of like this Hulk one. I played, actually, did I play as the Hulk or did I play as Wolverine? I've tried playing Rivals again. Again, I dip in and out here and there. I'm not very good. That's why I haven't continued to play. I'm just, I guess, an old man. Old man reaction time ain't quite there. So I just get my ass kicked every time I play. Not that I mind. It's just, I can only take so much of an ass kicking before I go, all right, I'm going to play something else. That's all. But yes, so the Marvel Rivals variants are done for this month. I'll have another short wrapping those up, dropping later this week. And then we're still not done with variants, as we still have the kimono variants to wrap up for the month of March. Here we go with our last 7. Yet another Amazing Spider-Man number 70. I'm telling you, some of these books, there's too many covers. Amazing Spider-Man number 70 with a Black Cat, who, not loving this one. I do like this Daredevil one, though. So Daredevil 19, I do like this one. Then I think we already looked at this one because the 1 in 50 was out there. It's all right. The Doom's Division. Who's this? Wave? I think that's who this is. It's all right, I guess. Same here with Fantastic Four. It's kind of cool. She's looking through her hand. You can see her eye through her invisible hand. It's kind of fun, I guess. And you got the logo, on her kimono. I guess it's on the better side. I do like the She-Hulk here. This is a good She-Hulk one. Just gonna pair up with sticks. X-23 also not bad. And then our final one, I think this is Armor. Yep, I think this is Armor. Yeah, it's kind of silly, but not my favorite. But we are also done with the Komodos. Again, I'd say half of them were pretty solid. The other half, maybe not so much. I don't think we needed this many of them, but I get it. It was a fun collector set for some. I didn't go and chase all of these. I did get a few of them because, like I said, I did like a couple of them. So I did get a couple. Now, somewhat out of place, but before we wrap up the show, I did have to get to one of my favorite segments of the week.
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
Yes, WTF. Now, we're going to start off this segment. There's only two things in here. Two things for me to talk about. First being Harley Quinn's fartacular, silent but deadly book. We get it. It's a funny fart book. Harley. Yes, April Fool's is next week. I guess that's why we have this. I guess there'll be a market for those weirdos out there who want to scratch and sniff Harley's farts. Cool. It's just not for me. This is just aggressively not for me. That's all. I get it's got a place. I'm not throwing $8 just so I can scratch and sniff an imaginary character's farts. I just don't see the point in it. But hey, to each their own. There is a cover A. There's cover B and cover C. I do kind of like the Ben Caldwell in the middle. It's got a cool kind of throwback with God and the finger, but it's Harley saying, "Pull my finger." I get it. It's a little silly joke, but at the same time, do we need it? Probably not. But it is a decently drawn cover. I do like it for that reason, but still not paying $8 for this, and also not doing the scratch and sniff farts. But it exists. So let me know if you guys bought the fart book and why you bought the fart book. And tell me, well, the stories were pretty funny. If that's the case, I get it. Fine. Maybe they will be funny. I'm just kind of weirded out by the idea of people wanting to smell an imaginary character's farts. That's all. I just can't get over that stumbling block. With that said, I also can't get over the fact that why this is still happening. I'm really trying my best here, but it looks ridiculous. This Frank Miller, ASM 70, yet another Amazing Spider-Man cover. Why anybody would purchase this, it baffles me. This is ridiculous. How big is her hand over here? And why does her other arm look like a leg? Like, this is just... And her torso is... There's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot wrong with this. This is not a good-looking cover. I mean, you have to try hard to do a bad Black Cat cover. Am I wrong in that? Like, I don't know. This is just... It's just not good. It's just not good. Anyway, what's even worse? Who is going to pay for a version of this? 1/100. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Again, excellent work in the past, but this stuff just can't. Just can't. Moving on. Sorry, I just got to move on. I don't want to say hurtful things. I just got to move on. And we're going to move on to cheesecake covers. Because we got to lighten it up. Because, again, Black Cat, it should be an easy cover sell. Like, it shouldn't be hard to sell that cover to people. But, my God, that was a mess. That was a mess. Need a palette cleanse. Here we go. We already looked at this one quickly before, but here's that Zerdy. Justice League Unlimited number 5. Probably shouldn't have put it in earlier, so I could have saved it for now. But, yeah. Hawkgirl, Satana. It sells itself. Power Girl. Yeah, we got a couple of Power Girls here. Fighting a dinosaur or just flexing and posing on her own. Cool. David Nakayama doing one of his color bleeds with Superwoman. So Superman number 24. Not bad. It's a good look. Nakayama also giving us a Wonder Woman this week. Can't complain there. There's also another option. We can look at, I forget who did that cover. Sebastian Fiumara, maybe? I can't recall. But there is also a 1 in 25 for the regular Wonder Woman, issue 19 for this week. And there you go. Yeah, just options if you're interested. Red Sonja is facing off against Mars Attacks, or she's attacking Mars. All right. I guess this is a series we all needed. But a Linsner cover? I didn't say it wrong that time, did I? Linsner, not Linzer. Now I'm going to say it wrong. Anyway, Linsner on the cover A. Jay Lee option here as well there in the middle. And a Greg Land, apparently. And then we do have a Vampirilla #1. So we're restarting with a new Vampirilla series and a Lucio Perillo. Surprise, surprise, doing a Vampirilla cover. And it's a good cover. It's a cheesecake cover, but it's par for the course. That's our cover A. Then we got other options here. We got a Spears cover with her couple of werewolves on chains. Cool. Another Greg Land option. Then we got a couple other. We got a cosplay, if you want to do the cosplay thing. And then we also have a black bag version of that cover A that is censored because it's not suitable for all viewers, but you know what is underneath that black bar. If you want to get a topless edition of this book, you can. Or you can get a 1 in 10 that has a bit different cover art. And then, it being Dynamite, there's a slew of other versions of these in various colors and trade dresses and virgins, etc. Not covered all those, but they're out there. Doll parts. So, doll parts #4. Couple options here, A's and B's and C's. And there is a version of the cover A for a 1 in 10, if you're interested. Rogue has the 3rd issue of the Savage Land in here. I mean, apart from just trying to sell these covers, I don't know if we really needed the story of her back in the Savage Land, but we got it. Issue 3. Multiple covers here. All not bad. We got a Campbell there in the middle, Greg Land. I forget who did the one over on the left, but it's also solid. And then the Camel in the middle is also our Virgin 1 in 100. Something to keep an eye on. Pepe Larraz, I think, did the 1 in 25. But the 1 in 100, obviously, keep an eye on it. You never know. Some of these things pop. Some of them don't. Who knows? But it is a solid cover with the T-Rex, I will admit. Grimm Fairy Tales, #94 is coming out. And yeah, here we go. More covers, A's and B's and C's. Got the Royal in the middle, which is also our naughtier version 1 in 20. So you see there, get a little bit naughtier. You get the 1 in 20 if you feel like chasing that book down. Been meaning to try to go back to reading this, but you got the girl with the bubble helmet covers. That's a whole nother subset of collectors on Howl, #3. I didn't love the first issue. I was just kind of bored by it. That's all. It was just so much setup and so much. I didn't care. Plant things. Okay, I get it. Issue 3 is coming out. Maybe I need to catch up because I did hear a lot of people really liked it. And I guess a lot of people weren't put off by the fact that I thought the first issue read really slow and didn't really accomplish too much. Maybe it just wasn't what I was looking for. That's all. I mean, sometimes you read things when you're not in the right frame of mind. Now you're not in the mood for it, then it hits wrong. Maybe that was the case. Now I know what to expect. I need to go and catch up and see how issue 3 is. But we've got 2 cover options here. Again, bubble helmet if you want to go and get one. And then, which is normally part of my pull list, and I will freely admit, this is just bonkers, banana, silly story. This is what I know I'm expecting at it. I just want something goofy. And yes, a lot of unsuitable, not suitable things in here in this book. But I do enjoy reading them because they're just off the wall and a little bit wacky. Sometimes you need that. And this one's got Patton Oswalt joining, I guess, the crew. And with that said, Money Shot, One Shot, #0 will be on my pull list. There's a cover A. And then there are... All right, we got the cover A, and then we have some black bag editions, which you know means these will not be suitable for all viewers. So they're all in black bags with covers, 3 different covers by different cover artists. So even the black bags note which is underneath. So you got the Tula Lote, a Garth Graham, and a Corin Howell. And yes, I'm going to show you the images. These are fine, but the images in the actual covers will be unedited. I believe these are covered up a bit. See, they all say censored. So the ones that you buy in the black bags will not be censored, as my understanding. So if you buy any of them, you're going to get a little bit more something in your face. That said, we do also have incentives here with a 1 in 10, 1 in 20, and a 1 in 30 option. Well, not bad. I mean, I like the 1 in 30 probably the best, but I have no need to buy incentives for this. I think I'm getting the Tula Lotte black bag because, well, it's Tula Lotte and she does nice work. With that said, also covers. So we're getting near the end here finally. Random covers. There's not a lot here. Actually, when I got back to it, all I have is a couple of Harley covers because while I normally put this in the cheesecake section, apart from this, which would have been a stretch, I think, just because it's Harley, I'm like, all right, I could put this one as a Harley cheesecake cover, I guess. But the fight selector thing was kind of fun, video game style. But really, this one didn't fit the section really all that well. So this is the pulp kind of throwback, which I do enjoy these, but it just didn't feel cheesecakey. So I still like it. So I put it in here. And then even this would have been a stretch. This is kind of a silly joke kind of cover with, oopsie, it's not going to be a 9/8 because she's ripping the cover. Merc and Dolphin. I kind of like it. But I don't know. Was it cheesecake? I don't know. Probably. I could have probably stuck it in there, but I didn't. So with that said, those are the only extra covers I wanted to cover for the week because there was a lot that I already went through. I mean, we're already 120 in. And I have to wrap it up now with Best of the Week. So these will be my call for my favorite covers of the week. The first being, I think I mentioned it, that I really liked it. But yes, after some thought, I really liked this You'll Do Bad Things #1. I don't know. Just sometimes it doesn't always have to be a sexy girl cover to really capture my eye. I like the idea of the hand coming through the screen, the blood, the knife. It makes me want to read this. It's doing its job as a cover. So I like this as my regular price cover of the week. And then for my incentive, no, it's not going to be a Campbell 1 in 100 if that's what you're thinking. It's that 1 in 10 Cobra Commander. Easy to obtain, does its job, selling me this book. I like Cobra Commander. I like the negative space look here. That blue looks cool. I want it. I ordered one. So those are my favorite covers of the week, in my opinion. Again, you let me know what your favorites of the week were in the comments down below, as well as recommend some books for me to read. But finally, after a long, long week, an hour, 20 minutes, I'm finally done. And with that said, I just want to quickly thank you for all the support you've given to the channel. Please check out all the other things we do have here, all of our shows, and support the boys and their live shows, as well as the other shows that I do here. And thank you, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right?